Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jewel. This is the finished project of the cover that I did a process share on, and I'm actually going to upload that right after this one. I recorded it, but I actually have uploaded. I just haven't edited it and put it in my well, I haven't really uploaded it yet, but I did record it. So I wanted to show you the finished project first and how to create a flexi cover. And I had mentioned that in my last video because I had recorded one before this one and it never the whole process didn't come up for some reason. I don't know what happened. Maybe I never pressed record. I thought I did, and I went to upload it, and it kind of just disappeared. So I redid it only with this fabric, and then of course another. It's a whole nother journal. So I'm going to do the flip through of this, and this is again the flexi spine. And if you want to learn how to make one of these, stay tuned because I'm trying to think here. That video is coming up shortly. Okay, so I've done another one of my matching fabric bag sets, and this is just a simple drawstring bag, and I did do a little trim at the bottom with a key in keeping with the trims I did throughout the book. And I have named this book The Whimsical Lady's Garden because of, see how this is like a very whimsical fabric on here, and this is a vintage theme, and I used a couple kits in it, and I will link those below. Vintage Garden 1900 Fashion Journal Kit and the Flower Garden Journaling Kit, both from Leanna Scrap. And I thought that I chose the fabric first, and then I went and looked for papers that I thought would do nicely with this fabric. This is a nice heavy kind of a broadcloth fabric on here, and you can see all the peachy and greens and some beiges. And then I did this beautiful applique lace trim across the top. It has a 2-inch spine, and it is a hollow spine, and it has this beautiful sari lace tie enclosure, and there are 2 metal grommets there, and you can see there's a lot of laces peeking out, and charms, keys, beads, and lots of goodness coming out the top, and some trims here in the spine area and coming out the bottom. So with that, let's get in. I did leave all of the strings, and this has all been sewn around, and it is 3 layers, 2 layers of craft text and a layer of fabric. And it does have the hollow spine, so I'm going to pop all the way into the middle because it's a very chunky book, and I want you to see it will lay flat for journaling. And it's full up. It's full of tags and laces and lots of beautiful things. You can see I painted the craft text on the front inside cover, and I have a lace pocket here. And this beautiful tag, and this is I made from, I did all this on high quality photo paper, and this is one of the images from the kit. I cut down and made a tag and did a scallop lace up here. Got a little flower charm on a ball pin there, and this is a nice large tag. I like to put a lot of these big tags in my books. We've got a pocket here, been sewn around with some more of that pretty applique trim. Let me see, I don't know if you can see that. It's almost got like a shimmer to it. And then in here, this is die cuts with a view. No, it isn't. This cardstock. Ooh, if you're interested in the cardstock, let me know and I will find the cover and tell you what it is. It's just beautiful cardstock. And so in here, I've got 2 more tags from the images in the kits, one over the other kit, and did some sari trims at the top, and everything's been kind of distressed and inked and all of that to keep in theme with the vintage theme. We've got some beautiful silk trim here that kind of tied in all the colors and a little mini postcard there. And this is a beautiful Swarovski crystal. I don't know if you can see the fire in that. That's a genuine crystal. And I made a card. This is from an image from the Graphics Fairy, actually. And I did some muslin trim at the top and a bulb pin, and then in between the coffee dyed and the cardstock, I did do some fun cheesecloth in there just for interest. And then we've got this is from the Graphics Fairy as well. And this has been backed on coffee dyed parchment paper and sewn around. So that's in there, and I've got some stamping throughout. This says beautiful. Okay, so that's in that pocket. Here's one of the images from the kit, and then I did the lined on the other side. Got some of this flower paper from Sharon Vandergraaf's shop, and I will list that below. I've used it in my last several journals because I just love it. It's coffee dyed. And then I've got some trim here with some fancy stitching, bulb pin, and a couple of glass seed beads and a key. And this kind of peeks out the side. I did 3 of these tabs like this in between the laces. A lot of room to write. I've left a lot of pages in here for writing and for you to, you know, decorate or do whatever you want to do in your book. And then I've got, this says couture, and there's like a little Paris stamp up here. We've got a Edith Holden page with the colors I thought blended real well because we're in the gardens. This is a CD pocket here, and in it I've got this tag, and I just did a little bit of collage work on here and some stamping, and there you can see the front side of that tag, and you can pull that out and write on the back of that. Another one of the papers from the kit. Plenty of room to write here. I made a little pocket here, on a wonky angle, and both of these are from the Graphics Fairy. This is parchment paper, parchment writing paper. It's nice heavyweight paper, and inks don't really bleed through it. That's why I like to put them in my books. I stitched on some pretty lace here. Got some printed vellum. Some more paper from one of the 2 kits. I'm not sure which one is the Flower Garden and which one's from the Vintage Garden because I kind of mixed them up together. This is sketch paper, a nice heavyweight sketching paper. I've got some baking paper here. Another one of the pages from the kit. And a beautiful, beautiful floral kit with these beautiful 1900 you know, fashion photos, and then, or illustrations, I should say. Now, this is a nice heavyweight pocket. There's 2 pockets here, and this is the middle of the first signature. There's 3 signatures in this book, and I have done a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. And you can see how lovely this, if you're interested in learning how to make this type cover, how lovely and flat, even though the book is so thick, it does lay flat for journaling. And I've really digging this whole flexi spine thing. I've done a lot of hollow spines before, but I kind of came up on this with this, and I just really like it. So we've got more room to write here, room to write here. These are both, you know, from the kit. Baking paper, sketch paper, lined digital from one of the kits. vellum. I've done 3 fabric flips in here, one in each of the signatures with the lace on the edge, and they've been sewn to the parchment paper. More of the items from the kit. This is the other part. I did 2 CD envelopes together, and then you can see you can just pop that tag right out. I made that tag out of part of one of the illustrations from the kit. Edith Holden. I've got a little paper clip here that I just put on some seed beads, and then I just have this little postcard image here on, this is from the Graphics Fairy, on some coffee dyed paper, and this is from the Graphics Fairy members site. This is beautiful. Did a little bit of floral applique or stamping there. Another pocket here. I kind of just left this because the paper is just so pretty. I didn't cover it up. Now I've got 2 tags in here. One super big, large tag with some satin trim here, and just did 2 eyelet trims here. I stamped bonjour at the bottom there, and that's just tucked in there, and then another one that kind of coordinates right here. It's like a little journaling card. Okay, we are at the end of the first signature. We've got a nice, another large tag with some crocheted cotton trim at the top for a tab. And this is nice because you can write on this. And this I just cut down a piece off of one of her digitals. And that is Leanna Scrap. First time I've bought anything from her shop in Etsy, and I'm very pleased with it for this project. Here's a postcard that's been backed on coffee dyed paper, and another tag that I made out of from the Graphics Fairy, and these are actually called bookmarks, and I kind of made them into tags, and there's some muslin trim at the top there. It's been sewn around. It's a beautiful image. I've got a little bit of like a collage banner. That's what I call these, or cluster banners. It's both fabric and paper ribbon that I make. I've got another large tag here, and I did some pretty lace at the top. Kind of just folds over the top. It's been sewn on. That's in that pocket. Vellum. Got a little paper ribbon I made here just as a tab on the edge of that page. A little stamping there. Another Edith Holden paper. Beautiful. Thought it went very well in the book. Baking paper. Another little pocket here. There's one in each signature, these little wonky. Both these images were from the Graphics Fairy. Just beautiful, beautiful papers to work with. I've got another fabric ruffle tab on the edge of this page, and another key with 2 ball pins. They kind of just hang off the side. I'm going to do a video on these beverage bags, and it's just basically collaged and how I take them, not really take them apart. I cut them and fold them, and I collage on them. And so it gives it a nice, you know, a nice feel, a nice texture. And in this bag, I have a piece of tea-dyed paper, just folded up with the corners edged, and then a postcard tag. That's from the Graphics Fairy. This is coffee dyed sketch paper, and I think this was coffee dyed paper as well, printer paper. And here we are in the middle of the second signature, so this is a nice place to write. There's the other part of that bag. and I made a tag out of a journaling card, I should say, part of the image from one of the kits, and then this is from the Graphics Fairy. Parchment paper there, parchment writing paper. Another fabric flip. Edith Holden. It's beautiful. This is from June. Just a little interest up here from a cutoff, and I just stamped on it. It says Paris. It's like a postal thing. Did a little collaging here with some of that beautiful silk, and then just cut this off of a part of one of my trims from the cutting up the pages to make tags. We've got a postcard here from the Graphics Fairy. I've got the chiffon flower here, like a rose, and a little sari back here. Another large tag with some crochet cotton trim in here. In this pocket, it's been sewn. Actually, yeah, let's put it like that. Oh, I have an empty pocket. I think I have something over here. I'll cut this down, I'll make a tag out of it, sew something on it, and pop it in there. Now, I made a pocket out of a part of deconstructed one of the digitals, and came up with this little pocket like this, and then this is cut down one of the images to make this tag, and then this one's been backed on coffee dyed paper and sewn around. That's from the Graphics Fairy. Empty pocket. Large tag here with some more beautiful lace trim at the top. Kind of just flips over the back. Plenty of room to write. I did a little bit of embellishment down here with another beautiful Swarovski crystal, a little postcard, and some of that silk. Fabric flip. Vellum. Got a doily here. This is the last of the little ball pin, the last of the fabric ruffles, and this says grow, and there's a couple seed beads, and on the other side there's a little flower, so that's just a little metal charm there. Oh, I have a bag here. You know what? I need to cut this bag, and I need to put something in it. I didn't even realize I kind of skipped right over this. So what I do here is either I take my pinking shears or I use these, and I might come in and trim this, and I might not. Sometimes I trim my bags. Well, now you have this large bag, and I'll find something to put in that. Some sketch paper, image, a little pocket with a old calling card. 2 more large pockets here for you to put things in, photos, memories, notes, whatever. Some trim, or some lace trim on that parchment paper. Lots of room to write here, as you can see. Sketch paper, here's the other part of the bag. These are those wax paper bags I love to use. Baking paper. This is just a copper color or rose gold paper clip that I put some seed beads on, and right here is just some writing room for you. It's blank on one side, it's lined on the other. So I just folded that over the edge of the parchment paper here, and there's your little, oops, I lost the bead. I'll put that back on after. the other part of that doily, some vellum, parchment paper, lined digi, and the, we got a pocket here, and 2 more postcard type tags. This one is doubled, it's been backed on coffee dyed paper, and this one is just on the cardstock. And this one's sewn around. Then we've got a pocket here. It's like a long pocket. And I've got a postcard here, backed on some coffee dyed paper, and another postcard here with that fancy lady on it. And then the back cover here, I did do a lace trim pocket, and I've got some trims at the top, the sari silk, the lace, and a ball pin with 3 crystal or glass beads rather. And that is that one. So hopefully this will be in my shop along with, and I have it, and this is a set, it comes with the bag, and hopefully it will be within a day or two, because I haven't even put this one with the matching bag in it yet. And that matching bag, I do have a full flip through on this one, and this one is a very sunny light yellow one. So that one will be in there, and I'll put both these in at the same time. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that flip through, and look out for how I made this journal cover, the process video of it. It'll be coming up soon. Thanks a lot.